Hello, this is Mrs. McCullough, and I would like to teach you another lesson about your reading voice and your thinking voice. In the previous lesson, we learned that readers have different voices. The reading voice is the one that reads the words or the pictures, and it notices what the text says. But readers need another voice. They need to use that thinking voice. This is the one that is really trying to understand what the text means. And so we started to build our anchor chart yesterday. We have the reading voice and the thinking voice. The reading voice is reading the words and the pictures and telling us what it says, but the thinking voice tells us what the text means. And in yesterday's lesson, we actually used some narrative text. We used some poems by Mr. Nesbitt, and they were funny poems about things that kids would do. But in today's lesson, I want to teach you about how you can use this when you're reading another kind of text. You can actually use this when you're reading informational text. And so you might read informational text in your classroom or at home. You might check out some picture books on different topics. Like this one's all about spiders and different ways they make their webs. Or you might have a book all about the desert. You could also read textbooks. You could have a variety of different books. You could also be like this boy who's reading digital text. There's a lot of informational text that you'll find digitally. You can read it on a tablet or on a regular computer. And so in this lesson, then what I want to do is I want to talk to you about how my reading voice and my thinking voice is showing up even when I'm reading informational text. And so I'm going to use an article from a website called Newsela. And Newsela is a really neat website that I use with a lot of teachers. You see, it takes newspaper articles from all around the globe and it rewrites them so that kids your age can actually read them. They choose a lot of interesting topics, and I found one for us that we're going to use today. So I'm at the website, and here's the one that I chose. It's a science topic for informational text. So I'm just going to use my signs here, and I'm going to model this for you. I'll be the reading voice, and then I'll tell you what my thinking voice is saying to me. As we go a little bit further in the article, I'll actually stop and ask you what your thinking voice is saying to you now. So watch me as I model. I'm starting up here at the top, and it says Newsela. So I'm already having a thought. I'm thinking, this is the website where this article comes from. But then when I'm reading informational text, I want to make sure that I look at everything that's available to me. So I'm going to start out by reading the title. Is this coyote friends with a badger? Wait, what? I'm already starting to have some thoughts. A coyote is a friend to a badger? Now I know a badger is another type of animal. I didn't think coyotes were friends with anything else. As a matter of fact, my background knowledge, I didn't think coyotes were even friends with other coyotes. So I don't know. I'm starting to have some real thoughts here just from the title. The video shows the two traveling together. Oh, yep. And I'm looking at the picture. As I look at the picture, I do see it's two of them and they're walking. Now, there's a little bit more information here that I'm going to pay attention to. It tells me that it's by USA Today and that it's adapted by the Newsela staff. So I know that's the original newspaper, USA Today, and that it was written on February 13th, 2020. And so I know this was during the winter time when this was written. The word count is 502, so I know it's not very long. And the level here just tells me it's perfect for second and third graders to read. So now I'm going to use my reading voice and I'm going to talk about what's in the picture as well. I see something round here. There's definitely a round shape going on, and this looks like some sort of concrete wall. I have some grass. I noticed some grass down here, and I'm thinking this is the coyote because I know it looks like a dog, and that must be the badger. My thinking voice is already saying looks a little bit like a raccoon, kind of a short, furry mammal in that way. My thinking voice is also wondering if this is a tunnel. something that starts out as a circle here, and it looks like it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that makes me think it's a tunnel that they're walking through. Now, when I'm reading informational text, there's a lot for me to pay attention to. And so I'm going to actually notice the caption down here as well. Image 1, an unlikely friendship between a coyote, left, and a badger, right. Oh, yes, my thinking voice. The left means it's the coyotes on the left side of the picture, and the badger, right, that's on the right side of the picture, just in case I didn't know which one was which. So I'm going to go back to reread because I was having a thought in the middle there and I lost track. An unlikely friendship between a coyote left and a badger right was captured in a wildlife video as they traveled together around the San Francisco Bay Area in California. My thinking voice is whispering to me. It's saying, San Francisco, isn't that a really big city? Why are these wild animals in a really big city? What's going on here? I've got some questions. Scientists have found both species benefit from hunting together. Wait, what? Hunting? They hunt together? Like for food? So that has me questioning. What do these two eat? Do they even eat the same kind of food? They look really different in size to me. Would they eat the same kind of prey? Let's read to find out. And it says image, Peninsula Open Space Trust, post. Oh, that's who took the video. And I'm thinking then they turned it into a still image, and that's where the photo came from. Pathways for Wildlife. So guys, we've only read the title. We've looked at the credits. We've looked at the picture. We've looked at the caption. And we've had a ton of thoughts already. You see, when you're reading informational text, there's so much for you to pay attention to. And it's even more important that your thinking voice is tuned in and that it's having thoughts. Now remember, the thinking voice, it whispers to you. So you really have to pay attention to it. You have to notice what it's saying. Let's keep reading this article. A surprising pair of animals was just spotted. They were seen in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is a region. It is in California. One of the animals is a coyote. The other is a badger. And my thinking voice is just saying, yep, I already knew all that. That's the intro to the paragraph, and I learned that already from the title and the captions. The two were caught on camera. They were traveling through a tunnel. The tunnel runs under a road. Experts say they might have been hunting together. Okay, so my thinking voice is really questioning this a little bit. I'm wondering, why are these two in a city? Why are these two in a tunnel that's going under a road? Why aren't they in the woods, the wilderness? Isn't that where these kinds of animals belong? I'm going to keep reading and see if I can find out. The Peninsula Open Space Trust took the video. The group is called POST for short. It tries to protect land in California for wildlife. Oh, maybe that's part of this, trying to protect the land to make it safe for the wildlife. So they're not supposed to be in the city, but they are. Let's keep reading. My thinking voice is having more thoughts as we go on. In the video, the coyote runs ahead, then it looks behind it. It gives a play bow. It even wags its tail. What? My thinking voice is imagining. It's actually seeing the coyote. How the coyote might run ahead in the tunnel, then look behind, looking for the badger, and that play bow that dogs do. I've seen my dogs do that, and it's wagging its tail. No wonder they think it's friends. That's what my dogs do when they're trying to be friendly. Let's keep reading. Dogs like to do the same thing. They do it when they play. Yep, that's what I noticed. You see, my thinking voice was already having these thoughts, even before the author told me. Okay, so let's get back to the reading voice. Then the coyote hops around. He's clearly waiting for the badger to follow. It is not far behind. The badger soon catches up. Then the two walk into the tunnel. You know, this made my thinking voice start to whisper to me, hey, I wonder if this video is on the internet. You know a little bit about who made it, the Peninsula Open Space Trust, and you know a little bit about it's a coyote and a badger traveling. I wonder if we can find the video. And so I went out to YouTube, and sure enough, when I searched for it with those words, up it came. And so I've got the video ready. Let's watch it together. Let's watch it. There they go. Now that's just a short 12-second video. And so I always think it's helpful if we can watch it more than once. So let's watch it one more time. Our reading voice was really watching it and noticing what was happening. And our thinking voice now will start to think through what these two are doing. There's the hop. Oh, the play bow. I saw his tail wagging. Look how he's waiting. Once he sees the badger in the tunnel, off they go. Yeah, they sure do look friendly to me. I agree. Oh, I loved seeing that. I loved seeing the actual video so that then we could really see if our visuals, our visualizing in our mind, our imagining, to see if that really matched up to what we were reading with the words. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the article and I'm going to go to the next section, and I'd like for you to help me out. I'd like for you to see what your thinking voice is saying. Okay, so we'll start with the subhead, a great team. Coyotes and badgers make a great team. They have different skills. Skills? Is your thinking voice having any questions? What could be those skills? Let's see if your thinking voice might come up with what would be some skills that a coyote and a badger might have for hunting. Maybe they both smell. They can smell their prey. They can tell where it's been. Maybe they're tracking that way. Maybe they're pretty fast. Coyote's pretty fast. I wonder about a badger. You think it runs pretty fast? What are they eating? What are they hunting for? Let's see if we can find out. When they work together, they catch more animals to eat. Both of them hunt squirrels. They also hunt prairie dogs. Oh, there's the answer to the question I had on the previous page when I was wondering, what are they hunting together? Do they eat the same thing? It looks like sometimes they do. Coyotes and badgers have been seen together before. Badgers are not easy to spot. They spend a lot of time underground. Let's stop there for a moment. Listen to your thinking voice. Underground? How would a badger be underground? What is it doing underground? You know, my thinking voice was whispering a little bit. Was your thinking voice wondering what they're doing down there? Do you think it might be a home? Do you think they dig a hole and they might live down there? Do you think they have babies down there? Do you think they hide things down there? I don't know. I'm wondering what they do underground and why now they're above ground. The video is cute. It also gives important information. This can help protect wildlife. It shows some animals use tunnels under roads. They use tunnels to travel. Oh, so let's stop there for a moment. So why would it be important for the coyote and the badger and other wildlife? Why would it be important to use a tunnel under a road? What's your thinking voice saying? Let's continue to read to see if we can find out. Scientists like to know where wild animals travel in cities. So we're going to stop reading the article together there. But I want to remind you that you have different voices when you're reading. All readers have a reading voice. That's the one that reads the words or the pictures. Today we even saw a video. But we also have to tap into that thinking voice. And that's the one that really helps us figure out what the text means. Sometimes it imagines, sometimes it asks questions, sometimes it relates to previous information that you already knew. And so we've really got to listen to that thinking voice. And to me, it's even more important that you do it when you're reading informational text. So today and every day, when you're reading informational text, make sure you're using both of the reading voice and the thinking voice so that then you can really be engaged in that informational text. Now, if you were in Mrs. McCullough's class, what I would have you do is I would have you finish reading the passage. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. You see, there's just one more section left about these cool animals. It's called Less Land for Wild Animals. And what I would have you do is I would have you read it with a partner. And I would say, let's use your reading voice, thinking voice signs and have a partner help you read it. Then stop periodically like we did every couple of sentences or so and see if your thinking voice is saying anything to you. Now, if you're doing this from home, then maybe you don't have a partner in a classroom, but do you have a partner in a parent or somebody who's babysitting you, or maybe you have a sibling, you have a brother or sister who could read with you? So finish reading this last part of the article and really pay attention to what your thinking voice is saying about the coyote and the badger. I'll leave this section up in the video, so it'll be the last screen that you see, and you can continue to read it and do the activity. Or you could go out to Newsella and you could find the article there. We are in the very bottom of the reading levels so that we're in that 400 reading level. So it's perfect for second and third grade. Now that is Mrs. McCullough's assignment, but your teacher might have an even better idea for you to practice using your thinking voice with informational text.